Hey guys, I'm Truman.
Now I'm Jamie, and today we're reviewing The Paper.
The Paper is a kind of reboot slash kind of spiritual continuation slash real continuation of the very popular American Office, which itself was a spin-off of a British Office. What a crazy world we live in. But basically it follows the exploits of a Ohio-based failing newspaper called the Toledo Truth Teller and the kind of ham-fisted shenanigans of the reporters who work there trying to make the paper just a little bit better. Now, I will say, first of all, I had a little bit of a tantrum when this came out. I watched the first 4 episodes. I got really angry, and I sent a really angry long text to my friends about why I hated it. I've had some time. I've taken a step back. I went to the doctor. I went to the mountain, and I just realized that I think if you squint and you forget that it's about The Office, I think it's okay. Because I just think The Office was such a beautiful kind of send up to the concepts of impermanence and beauty and the mundanity of life. And this just takes it and it just ruins it. But if you remove that, if you pretend you don't know that, it's not a right show. It's okay. What do you think, Jamie?
I think a lot of my opinions of this show really hinge on my opinions of The Office, which are complicated, because I have weird opinions on The Office, because I think I don't know if it's The Office's fault, but I also think the mockumentary style kind of got played out over the 2010s, and I just kind of got sick of it. So I actually really appreciated the show being a bit being a bit more interesting cinematographically. I can't speak. A bit more interesting in the story-wise. I also appreciate it's not that nihilistic. It's kind of like this really earnest show. I love Ned as this very chipper. He calls himself Clark Kent. So I kind of really liked the tone of the show. I don't think it's great. Not really at all. I actually think that the first couple episodes are kind of not good at all.
Hard to get through, for
But
sure.
I think the show's kind of finding its footing, and it was pretty decent.
Well, they've been renewed for season 2 already, so we'll see. But I just think, per what you said, I think The Office kind of needs a little bit of the nihilism, because the whole point of it originally was to capture the kind of hopeless, hopeless kind of monotony of living in an office environment. I think that's really the point of the show. It's what makes the characters so kind of interesting, is because you have to watch them go through this kind of world and find their way to find purpose within it. And then this is just everyone's great. They have a newspaper. It's all turning out great. Everything's okay. They're winning awards. How are they winning the awards this early? It's too early for the awards.
Yeah, that's a bit contrived.
Sorry for the spoiler, anybody in this room, but they win an award.
It's a bit contrived. But I think tonally, I like the idea of going a bit more earnest, because I think one of our leads, Mare, am I mixing up names?
I don't know anyone's name. That's the other thing about this. There is no Jim. There is no Dwight. And I'm not saying there should be the same actors, but there should be someone I remember, right?
But Mare are one of our female leads. I really like them because they are the most millennial character in this show. They when Ned gets to there and he describes kind of his background and how he got to the paper, he kind of just mentioned his father, and she's like, wow, it's a really sad story for including that much nepotism. And she has some good jokes. I like her sleeping in the office wearing band t-shirts that I recognize, and I'm like, I'm just totally a sucker for this type of character. I'm being pandered to. I don't know, and I kind of like that. I feel like if it was a show that's oh, isn't an office such a quaint place to be in the political hellscape of 2025? It totally wouldn't work. I think the issue is trying to balance these characters in the tone, where I feel like everyone's trying to be either this high energy character and a low energy character, so it just feels like the entire room is full of dead air.
Well, when I started watching this, I expected there to be a clear okay, they're trying to make this their Dwight. They're really, to me at least, I couldn't find the equivalent. And I get that there isn't half-meat equivalent, but there should at least be someone, right? Parks and Rec has Ron Swanson, Office has Dwight,
yeah,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm not really connected to the ensemble. I think that's one of the biggest negatives of the show is I'm not really connected to the ensemble. I'm connected to Ken. I'm connected to Mare. Oscar is there to literally as a studio note.
Oh,
he is just there.
Here's what I think happened, and this is a little conspiracy theory. You can have this one for free. I think that they were at one point going to make a full continuation of the real Office, and they tried to get everyone, and they couldn't get a lot of people, and they just got Oscar, and then this happened. And listen, I'm sensing a lot of disapproval in the room from this, but this is what I think, and people are entitled to what they think, all right? And that's what I think happens.
I don't know. Even if that was the case, I just don't love a lot of this. I think they're kind of like as a group together. The only side character the two side characters who are really striking is like the main CEO who's with Softy, with the Softies brand, who I really do like.
Yeah.
I do like him. No, he's the main part of my favorite episode, which is Church for State, where they want to uncover truth about like clogging, but it ends up being because of the paper brand.
Yeah.
And Ken doesn't want to fight against the corporate. It like becomes a real conflict, and I thought it was a really good episode. The other side character who's actually memorable is Esmeralda,
Yeah.
and she, yeah.
Well, I just feel like there's another problem I have with it is like there's just not enough obstacles. You know, it's like a lot of times in the original. I mean, it's not even the original, but the U.S. Office, the one we all know, it was like it felt hopeless sometimes. Like there was times when it felt like there was an immovable, impossible object in front of them and they could never get past it. And that was what made it so endearing because they kept waking up and they tried every day. Here, they tried something and then it usually like works and then they just go home and then it's the next episode, which I feel like is like, it kind of defeats the purpose of it because then it's just like you're watching 10 episodes of things kind of work out for a group of people that you don't really know anything about. And I just feel like you kind of lose the soul of it, which again, goes back to my earlier point where I think if you forget that it's an Office reboot or something, I think it becomes a different show. I think you can make it kind of its own thing.
As someone who's not attached to The Office that much, I did. I was just like, It's like I liked some of the neat callbacks here and there. I was kind of bored like without it. I just think like it's doing its own thing. I just wish it was better at what it was doing.
Yeah.
I wish it was like a little bit better written outside of like Ken and Mari, who I think are really good characters. And I'm like, of course they get together.
And I just can't believe.
So I'm depressed that I cared about it.
I just can't believe they made They took the Dunder Mifflin original area and they just closed the door of it. There's like,
that was
going
kind of
back there.
messed
I
up.
can't believe that happened. And but you know, that's for. I could just talk all day about the problems I have. But you know, it was all right.
It was a bad pilot.
I'm trying
it's an
not
awful
to be mean.
pilot.
I'm just really trying hard. What rating would you give this movie? No decimals. You know the rule. Number rating would you give?
I'm actually giving it a 6. Like I know, like I had a lot of negatives, but I did enjoy, like just kind of the plot of the show. I think Donald Gleason does a really good job with it. I think Ned's a good character. I think Mari's a good character. I think there's a good through line to it. Maybe as a journalism nerd, I actually appreciate a lot of what it's doing and some of its themes. It's not as funny. Some of the writing is a little bit insufferable. I don't think a lot of the side characters work, but it's fine. Maybe it'll be better in the second season.
I am going to give this a 4. No alliteration. It's just a 4.
That's all we have, I guess. So.
We will catch you on the next one. Have a great day.